Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Honkai Star Rail video, and today I want to do a showcase on Jingliu with her buffs. I've been meaning to put this one out for a while. I've been really busy with the Dokkan stuff, but I do want to do this video. I'm going to go over the team build I'm using, and then at the end of the video I will show like my build for Jingliu, but I have been thoroughly enjoying her. Been very thankful that I've had her built all this time, and now this is my favorite thing that gacha games do. DFFOO did this very well, Dokkan does this very well, and now Star Rail doing it. Taking older characters and giving them reworks or adjustments to make them capable in modern content, it makes you feel like your investments are worthwhile, because knowing that a character phases out over time won't deter you from summoning for them, because they eventually will come back into relevance again. Now, we don't know in the deep future of Star Rail if they would do like third reworks or fourth reworks for characters, but that's what DFFOO did. Every time, you know, every so often they would just completely rework characters over and over again. I hope Star Rail does that beyond even a second rework. It's going to be a long time till we know or we'll see that. But right now, very happy to see this Jingliu rework here, right? So this is the team build that I have been really liking. So I've got Jingliu, and then this is kind of like a hyper carry double support for Jingliu. So I've got Sparkle, and then I've got the Remembrance Trailblazer. I think they both provide a lot of really good support. I've played around with like Bronya in Sparkle, but I feel like Remembrance Trailblazer provides better buffs than the Bronya does. So that's kind of what I've been going with. You could also do something where maybe instead of running, you know, double support, one of them's like a Nihility. So you could run Silver Wolf if you want to put Ice Weakness down. You could run Cypher, something like that, right? And then I think for Jingliu, so like the Jingliu team can be kind of flexible in those middle slots, but for sure in your healing slot, you want Hyacinth if you have her, because she actually will deal damage to the party, and dealing damage is a really important part of Jingliu's kit. So some of her adjustments we can just talk about is her kit is completely HP based now. So I rebuilt her with a bunch of HP percent. So her HP is darn near like 10,000. Like, it's pretty high HP. And then she pretty much doesn't need crit rate. Like, she just gets enough built in, so you can just do full crit damage build on her. So you just build her with like tons of HP and crit damage, and she's like to the moon. And what you're going to notice is with her stacks that she gets to go into her enhanced state, once she goes into her enhanced state, she never will leave it, because she gains stacks in other ways, like when you lose HP, when party members get hit. And she can hold more stacks of it now. So they gave her an extra stack, which you used to need on her E6. Now they just give it to you for free, and her E6 does even more. So really, really crazy Jingliu. So let's go ahead and hop in. So we are just in the newest stage 12 Memory of Chaos fight here. So we'll just show her off a little bit. We can go ahead and apply all of my techniques, and then we'll get Jingliu going here and swing in. All right, so you're going to see she's going to be doing some really good stuff here. We'll start with the freeze there. We'll skill with Hyacinth. We will use ultimate with Hyacinth. We're going to skill with Remembrance Trailblazer. So this is the thing with Sparkle too, is like skill points are never an issue. And it's a little skill heavy early on because we have to do setup. But once Jingliu gets into her enhanced state, this is the other cool thing about her. Since she never leaves her enhanced state, she just gets free enhanced attacks and does not need skill points. So at that point, you're free to go crazy with skill points. So we're going to kind of skill Jingliu up. And then this is like the one time Jingliu is going to use the skill points. But as soon as we get into enhanced state, as you're going to see here, we are never going to leave this. You see I have 3 stacks, and I'm going to hit an ultimate on this. So let's go ahead and do an attack. So we got 200k off of that. Now we're going to go into ultimate. Ultimate, that didn't crit. That was really weak. Normally that's going to be like 300k, but if she doesn't crit, you're definitely going to notice, because she's completely crit damage. But we're going to get some more. We don't have her fully buffed, right? So we just got Mem's support. So let's go ahead and do it again. There we go. That's a little better. 330k. So very quick, easy damage. And look at her. She's sitting at 3 stacks with like no sign of running out. Now, the beauty of this, because we got Sparkle for skill point add, Hyacinth can just skill like every time. Normally, Hyacinth's a character you're going to be doing normals once in a while, not on this team build. We're skilling every time because we are not going to run out of skill points. I could even skill with Trailblazer here to restore, and I'm going to get ultimate anyway, so sure, why not? We're at 0 skill points, but we don't really need it now. Hyacinth just skilled, so she can do a normal here, that's fine. You just want to make sure the skill point is always up for Sparkle, and then Sparkle's always going to be able to buff and pull forward. So watch this. We can buff and pull up. We got the Sparkle ultimate. We're going to see good damage here because now we got like all the buffs up. Now watch what this does. There we go. 450k on that. Almost 500k damage. My Jingliu is E1, by the way. But now it's like, yeah, there's no reason to do normals with these characters. We can just skill nonstop. Look at this. No skill points. Bam. 362k. Now we got an ultimate up. And Jingliu is just flying like crazy here. 380k. I mean, no reason not to skill here. We're never going to run out of skill points. Do an ultimate here. So once again, Jingliu does not need the skill points. The character that skills most important is for Sparkle. You got to make sure she has it. So now that I've kind of drained and, you know, until Sparkle gets her next ultimate, I will have to watch my skill point usage a little bit. There we go, 579k, no problem. So like right here, I can skill here, but I got to make sure I normal before Sparkle's turn because we don't want Sparkle to miss the buff. So now I'll definitely normal here. And then we do have a Mem Crush here. I won't spoil it too much, but after the new story, we'll just say I like Mem a lot more. I like Mem a lot more after seeing the story stuff. And I'm really excited to pull now for the new March 7th and Cyrene, which is really, really cool. I'm very excited for them, especially after the story. Okay, so right here, this is an instance where I don't want to blindly skill because Sparkle's up next, so I do need to normal. And then we just got to make sure Sparkle's ready to go. Sparkle, put the buffs on, and then bam, big damage. That was only 256, but that was one enemy, right? So if there's two enemies, we're looking at like 500k damage there. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's put a heal down on Mem. We definitely needed that. Go ahead and skill again, or just enhanced attack. 200k single target. We do have the skill, or the ultimate here. So once again, this will do less just because it's one enemy. Yeah, but 200k. So you can basically double that or triple that if there's 3 enemies, right? What are we looking at for skill? Sparkle's about to pop off here. We can skill here because Trailblazer's going to come up and they can normal. But like Jingliu not needing the skill points is like so huge here. The other thing that this allows, because of the way her upgrades are, since we are just sitting in enhanced state, we don't have to run Ting Yun. It used to be that like Ting Yun was a must run with her because you needed to like get her ultimate up so you could stay in the enhanced state with the ultimate. Now totally no pressure to do that. Doesn't matter if my ultimate's up. I'm just gonna, you know, throw down 500k right there on my normal enhanced attack. And then when the ultimate comes up, it's just nice bonus damage, but I'm not relying on the ultimate, right, to get back into my enhanced state. I'm just in enhanced state. So good, you guys. This setup is just killer. And it has a free-to-play character on it, so, you know. They've done a really good job, like, out of all the MiHoYo games, like, Star Rail has killed it with, like, the main character actually, like, being good. Genshin, I mean, I haven't played Genshin in a while, but at least the way the game was starting, her, you know, first 4 whatever forms were not relevant at all. They may have done, I don't know if Genshin has done reworks or upgrades, so they probably could have made that character better by now, but I remember the main character on there, the main use was just to be able to use skill. Like if I needed to use that geo block, there are certain puzzles you needed for that. That's mainly how I use them, but never actually in a team. Whereas here, Trailblazer, the last 2 iterations, the Harmony and Remembrance, have both been very good and relevant for teams. Which I think on MiHoYo, specifically the Star Rail dev team, they've done a good job with that because by making the free-to-play character good, especially with certain team setups, it helps you sell other characters. So Harmony Trailblazer really helped sell Firefly, right? And Remembrance Trailblazer is helping to sell all of these good Remembrance DPSs. You know, all these Amphoria's characters. God, look at that damage. Just insane. Let's do an ultimate here for good measure. 400k. We only had 2 skill points left. That was the closest we looked at like running out of, you know, the stacks. And then we're right back up to 3 and now we're up to 4. So like Jingliu stacks just are never going to run out. It's so fun. Like she just comes up, enhanced attack, big mambo wombo combo damage, and we're good, right? And once again, we get a lot more skills for Hyacinth and Sparkle and Trailblazer. Here we are going to actually normal, though. You just got to watch before the sparkle turn and just make sure you have one set up for sparkle. And that's all you really have to pay attention to with skills. Got ultimate here. And then, you know, if sparkle's going to get into her ultimate, then you get, you know, an extra turn or two where you just go crazy with skill point usage. So we do this, and then we can do this. Another big wombo combo here. Let's see what we got here. Big damage. Yeah, 700k, our biggest shot for Jingliu. 700k damage there. So yeah, Jingliu looking really good. So I would say, I don't know that I would, you know, tell, you know, players that don't have her. I'm not telling you to like rush out and summon her. But this is more for like veterans that already had her. This is such a good buff to your account to get this character back. It's another great character you can use. Now, if you like Jingliu and you like this gameplay, she is worth summoning on. She's good enough. She's like in the meta for DPS, right? But she's not like a must pull, but gosh darn it, she's really fun. They got 500k right there, just effortless, right? So like, you know, she's not putting up as much damage as my E6 Acheron, which she shouldn't be, but Acheron's got to sit and wait for those 9 stacks, and it takes, you know, she's not doing ultimates very often. Jingliu, she's doing her best attacks every single turn, and she's getting really good damage every single turn. Like so like this Jingliu team, out of all my teams, is the team I prefer for farming and grinding. Because it's just so fast. 800k, by the way. So her best attack so far, 800k we just did with Jingliu. But because Jingliu is just constantly like 3 target, like big damage, like the whole time, this team just very quickly gets through like the easy grinding fights that you're doing. So like when I'm grinding my dailies, and just trying to do runs to get my daily points, like I just use this team. And Jingliu just gets it done so fast. The Acheron team's a little slower because the ultimate wipes everything, but you got to build up to it. And my break team isn't as good because if you don't break on certain hits, then the enemies don't do anything. Or sometimes you're doing some with bosses that, you know, they need a little bit more damage and you can't always break right away. So anyways, guys, there you go. We just wiped through that really quick. We'll just exit from there. But let's look at my build, as I promised here, right? Let's go to the Jingliu build. So let's just look at my stat line here. So we are sitting at... you can see I have her baseline only about 20% crit rate. Because when she's in enhanced state, she gets 50%. So she's really around 70% crit. And then she does get some more crit rate from buff. So like she's almost critting every time. So you don't really need to invest much in a crit rate. Crit damage, I have her baseline 218%, which is really high. And then her HP, which, whoops, I want to show that here. So her HP, I have her at 8,300. But then in game with buffs and stuff, she'll hit 9,000-10,000 HP. Just ridiculous. I do have her signature light cone, and like I said, Eidolons, I do have her E1, and her E1 it does give her 36% more crit damage, so I am getting quite a big buff from that. And then she gets an additional instance of ice damage equal to 80% of her HP onto the primary target. So I am getting a lot of stats from the E1, but E0 Jingliu should still be looking really good. I don't know, should I summon for E2? Probably not, but yeah, her next enhanced skill gets an 80% buff. I mean, it's going to be a lot of damage, but yeah, I'm fine with E1. E1, she's looking pretty good. And then if we look at, so like I said, I do have her signature light cone on, which honestly, I think Mighty's light cone is now the actually premier one, because when they did her adjustments, they didn't adjust this to scale the HP, but it still does crit damage, right? And it does defense ignore, like still does good stuff. So I'm still keeping that on her because I summoned for it. And then relics. And they want me to smart equip, but I've already got the setup I want. So we've got like HP set up here. So we are doing this, the Longevous set, which is an HP set, right? And then it does stuff when you consume HP. This is kind of built for the destruction character. This is built for Mighty. This is built for characters like Jingliu, right? It's built for characters like Blade that are built on HP and they lose HP, right? That's definitely what you want to run. And then here we're doing the Bone Collection set, which is another HP set, right? And then if you look on my rope, I have HP percent. On my sphere, I have HP percent. On my shoes, I have HP percent. On my body, I have crit damage. And then attack is there, and then HP is there because they come with it. So that's my build. This is a very heavy HP build because everything's built into that. I love it when games do that, when they like, you know, when they scale on defense or they scale on HP, because if they're meant to be that type of character, then I don't like having to split my points between attack and between HP, or my attack and defense. If they're going to be a character built on defense, let everything scale into that. If they're built on HP, let it scale in. So this rework has been absolutely tremendous for Jingliu. Let me know what you guys all think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.